Okay, awesome. I'm gonna mute everybody. Okay, so Tavia's trying to get her computer to work. So I am going to start us off, you guys. I have two messages that I want to play from you from two awesome Ambassador Diamonds. So we're gonna start with that. They're only a minute each, but they wanted to root you guys on, cheer us on, let you guys know that they're thinking about us. So we played those. Once my phone connects. There we go. All right, so first up we have Aaron Tweed.
Happy December 29th. I know you guys are probably so excited. Most of you probably haven't showered just like me, dealing with some sinus issues, all the kinds of crazy things that are going on. But I just wanted to throw some words of encouragement your way. My name is Aaron Tweed, for those that don't know me. But I've been doing this business for 6.5 years. And so, I think the coolest thing about this is, there's so many different seasons of life and changes. And last year, for some of you, 2020, it might have been clear vision. I think it gave us all a lot of clear vision on just what we want, what we're expecting of. And so maybe it didn't pan out the exact way, but I'm sure it gave you a lot of clarity. And so I would just take that and run. Know what your goals are. Know exactly what you're going after. Rally your teams, because we know that the game plan is to go after emeralds, right? And, just do it. There's no reason that you can't have the success that you've been dreaming of and wishing and praying for. There's no reason. So I'm here cheering you on. I can't wait to see what happens this year. Hey y'all, I just wanted to pop on here and just say, oh my goodness, I'm so excited for everything that is in store for 2021. Mark keeps dropping hints about December 29th, them announcing so many new things. A few of the things, and it is going to be incredible. So I just want to tell y'all, keep going. Do not stop. Yes, it's the holidays and there's so much going on, but this is the time to be intentional. Whether it means getting an hour, getting up an hour early before your kiddos wake up, or maybe staying up that hour later, so you can just do that KPI list, do your core 4, knock out those things, keep planting seeds, grow your list. Believe me, you're going to have your list ready come December 29th, because there are so many exciting things coming. Man, I've never been so sure about being at the right place at the right time. So I'm so excited for you guys, and I cannot wait to see what 2021 has in store. I'm truly believing and praying it will be each and every one of your best years yet. Okay, love you.
Awesome. I just love them both. They're so sweet. Obviously, Sherry sent that before the announcements today. So who's excited about the announcements? I mean, I literally was like pumped up, like on like crack all day, but not on crack all day. You know what I mean? Like I was like, on my phone. At one point I was like, oh, I really need to take a nap. And then I was like laid down, and then I was like, what am I thinking? I don't have time to nap. It's December 29th. We have 2 days left. We have emeralds to build. And so I was blowing up my team like all day long with all the promotions and announcements and stuff. And so just so much good stuff, so many good nuggets. I'm sure your team leaders have been sending you so much information today. The gummies are going to be awesome. Total game changer. So Ashley said she got her gummies. Who else got their gummies? I got 3 bottles for myself. All right. Yes. If you guys want to sell this product, make sure you get this product. And we are even figuring out ways to get it to our Canadian team. If you guys don't know, my team has a huge Canadian base. And so we're even working it so we can get them this product so that when they get it in Canada, they're going to be ready to rock and roll. So loving that. So I don't believe, let me see. Tavia, are you on? Let's see. I don't know if her camera's working.
Yes, I am here. I had to get on my phone. I don't know what it's doing. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So guys, I know you guys were talking about the gummies. Now, we won't necessarily go super heavy on the announcements like Melissa was saying. I'm sure we've all as leaders kind of been blowing you guys up today. But just to skate over it, obviously, yes, we released the slimming gummies. And I know many of you guys ordered that. I can see that. We also have killer promotions. So aside from the products too, we have pick 2, pick 3, you guys, that does end on the 31st, started today, ends on the 31st. Slimming gummies is a part of that. And then I know perk points, you guys, if you don't know, perk points end on the 31st. So if your customers have those, please be sure you're getting with them to get their orders in for that so that they're not losing out. All right. But financially, you guys, there's some heavy stuff happening and we're super excited about it. So first thing, I'm looking at my board over here. So first thing, you guys, they announced an Emerald $5,000 bonus. Okay. It is for new distributors that enroll starting January 1st. Through February 28th. If you go Emerald in 2 calendar months, you're going to get a $5,000 bonus. For those of you that are older and have been in the business, you still can go Emerald by the 28th of February and earn a $5,000 bonus. You guys, that bonus is broken down over 25 months. And on top of that, what they did was they layered stack it bonuses. So if you help someone go Emerald and you're coded to them, and yes, there's a whole lot more detail than what I'm going to talk about tonight, but Diamond, Double, Triple, Prez, Ambassador, if you are coded at the time that you enroll that person and they pop to Emerald, then you actually get part of that $5,000 too. So with every level, Diamond to Ambassador, it's $1,000 per level. So for those of you that have dropped rank, need to get back to that rank so you can literally clean up on these bonuses because they're going to be epic, you guys. They're going to be huge. And if there's a report in your back office, if you don't know, it's called, I think it's Stack It Report. I pulled it and it shows everyone who has the potential to go Emerald and the bonuses you can achieve if they do go Emerald. And it is explosive, you guys. When you see the amount of money that is sitting there, I really like these promotions because it forces us in a way to not just focus on new enrollments, but it also helps us focus on people that are already in the business and helping them get to that next level too, right? And so it's just going to all around benefit every single one of us, even if we've been in the business and even if we're just new. All right. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. They do have I think it's $20,000 to 2 people. And that actually goes to the 20th and they will announce that at conference. And there's multiple ways that you can get entered in, unlimited entries from enrolling customers and distributors to buying a conference ticket to running your ADBB auto ship. All of that gives you points and you can actually track that in your back office too. So lots of good stuff, you guys. So again, for more details, obviously get with your upline leader. And I'm sure they're already kind of blowing it and pouring it out on you everywhere. I know I went live and we've done all the things, but more to come on that. But if you need more specific details, please get with them and dive in a little bit deeper. But let's get started. Melissa and I have a lot to cover, you guys. And so Melissa, go ahead and start us off. I know you kind of want to start with a couple of things, but tell us about your story and then get into your bullet points.
All right. Yes, I'm so excited about tonight. I'm excited to help close this amazing 3 days out. This has been so good, you guys. We've gotten so much incredible feedback. And so tonight we're really just going to kind of bring it all together. We're going to talk about pivoting. So I'm just going to start with my story first. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Melissa Dean and I'm a triple diamond and top 150 income earner. And I joined this business, you guys, 6 years ago, literally on Christmas Day. So I just hit my 6-year anniversary. It popped up in my email on Christmas and I was like, what? I cannot believe it's been 6 years, first of all. But I started this business because I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to try a weight loss wrap. I had, at the time, I had just had 3 babies under 3, literally. They were 3, 2, and like 6 months when I joined. Crazy. And I was working about 70 hours a week as a district manager for Victoria's Secret during the day. My husband was working as a police officer at nights. And so things were like really crazy for us at that time. But I wanted to try this wrap. I didn't have the money for it. It was kind of weird because both of us had made, at that time, we were making over $100,000 a year each, but we live in California. I was making substantially over $100,000 a year with my job. And we live in California, 3 babies. We were paying like $2,500 a month for daycare. You guys don't even want to know what my mortgage is or was, like literally insane. So we were living paycheck to paycheck. So anyway, one of my managers was talking about these wraps, and like honestly 6 years ago it works hadn't even come to California. Like I'd never heard of it, no idea what it was. I didn't know it was network marketing, like no clue. All I knew was she had these wraps and she was showing everybody these pictures and handing out blitz cards with, if you guys remember, the blitz cards used to have before and after pictures of the belly. And so she was handing them out and I was like, girl, I need that. Like I need some, give me some of those wraps. Okay. Like 3 babies in 3 years was not friendly to me. I'm sure lots of moms kind of get that. And I was just like, yeah, I want to try the wrap. And she had said at the time, she was like, well, you should totally do this business with me. And I was like, girl, you are crazy. I'm like, you do know that I work 70 hours a week, right? Like, and at this particular time, guys, it was Christmas. And so we had been open. If you guys have ever been in retail management, like drop a comment below, because it is not an easy thing, especially during the holidays. At least it wasn't then. I don't know how it was this last year with COVID, but we were literally running a 24-hour operation from October to the end of February. And so basically getting everything ready for Black Friday. Black Friday was crazy, and then Christmas is crazy, and then right after Christmas is semi-annual sale, and then it's Valentine's Day, right? So all huge times for our company. Like that's our boom season, was October to February. And so anyway, she had asked me to join, and I was like, girl, nah, I think I just want to try the wrap. Like, what's your website? And so she gave me her website, but you guys, she put that bug in my ear. Okay. And I literally was like, hell to the no. Like, there is no way I'm taking on anything else. Like, I was going through postpartum depression. I was overwhelmed. Like, that Christmas in particular, you guys, we didn't even have a Christmas tree. We didn't have presents for our kids. We didn't get presents for each other. We were literally ships in the night, dropping our kids off at daycare for 12, 14 hours a day, picking them up at the end of the day. Like, it was just handoff. And so on that Christmas day, I felt really bad for myself. Like, I'm not going to lie. I was having a moment and I was like, my husband's at work. He worked Christmas Eve. He worked Christmas Days. I have these 3 babies under 3. I want to buy something nice for myself. So I asked my husband if I could buy the wraps. And he said, yeah. And so we put it on our credit card because we really couldn't afford it at the time. And by the grace of God, you guys, I hit join instead of shop. I cannot tell you why I hit join, because that was not my intention. This little bubble popped up when I went to go shop for the wraps. And it was like, for $40 more, you can join your business and you can get $120 in free product with your first 4 customers. And I was like, ooh, $120, like, boom, ding, ding, ding. I need that. I want more products. Like, if these wraps work, like, I want to try everything else that they have. And you guys, at the time, really, they had like Fat Fighters, greens, wraps, and defining gel. Like, that's all we had, like, legit. But I was like, I want to try everything. And so I was like, okay, $40 more. I have the room on my card, barely. I have a little room on my card. I'm not gonna tell my husband. Literally didn't say anything. And I hit join instead of shop. You guys, I didn't do anything with the business at all. I didn't even get my first 4 customers in 30 days. Like, I joined and I sat back and I doubted myself so much. And like I said, I was so busy with semi-annual sale, Christmas, New Year's, semi-annual sale, the kids, like husband working crazy. Like, when I tell you guys, my husband's a police officer, like, he's not just a police officer. He's like the crazy SWAT guy, breaks down the doors, leads chemical bombings. Like, he's the guy that's involved in everything. And so, like, I wasn't sleeping. Like, it was just really crazy. So I didn't do anything, guys, not at all. My upline quit before I even did anything. Like, she quit a week after I joined. And so I didn't really know what to do, but I had been added to my uplines page, Sherry Lynn Alcala, who is number 2 income earner in the company. I was added to her page, and she had posted about this $20,000 double good bonus for going diamond. And I was like, you guys, you didn't see my reaction for $120. I was like, 20,000? What? Yeah. How do I get that? And so I started reading everything, you guys. I went into eSuite. I printed everything out in Document Library. I was super green. So I printed out all the product info. I made pamphlets, and I just kind of studied everything. And I didn't do anything social media wise, you guys. I went diamond in 6 weeks, belly to belly. I know it's different now because obviously COVID, but before COVID, we had sip and samples, we had wrap parties. I was embarrassed because I didn't want to be a wrap girl. I didn't want people to think that I was a rapper. I worked so hard in my career, you guys. I had been doing what I was doing for 17 years. I was working my way up the corporate ladder. I was this close to my next promotion. And I didn't want to hear it from anybody. Like, I just didn't want to hear what they were going to say. I didn't want the doubt to creep in. And so I called my 8 best friends. The first thing I did was I called my 8 closest friends and I said, hey, do you guys want to come over for, oops, let me mute everybody. Okay, I think I got everybody. I said, do you guys want to come over for champagne, like a girls' day? Like, I didn't even tell them anything. Okay, I had my hand on 8 wraps. When I joined, the wraps were, you got buy 1 box, get 1 free. So I had 8. So I invited 8 friends over, didn't tell them anything, got champagne, fruit, and then they got there and I was like, okay, I want to tell you guys about this thing that I'm doing. And they all were like, you're crazy. And I was like, that's okay. Like, these are free. Like, let's put them on you, and I sacrificed my wraps that I had like maxed my credit card out for because I wanted to see if they actually worked. And so all 8 of them wrapped. They all had crazy results, you guys, in 45 minutes. Every single one of them was blown away and every single one of them joined my team right away. And so on my first day, you guys, my first day actually ever doing anything with business. And like I said, I knew nothing. I had no upline. I had no training, nothing. I just had these wraps. And so what we did was I signed all these people up. And then Sherry actually messaged me. I think at one point it ended up being like, we signed up the 8 there and then we called some of their friends and family. So I ended up signing like 14 DTs in a day. And back then, you guys, you only had 24 hours to transfer distributors and to chart. And so Sherry Lynn had been going through reports and she was like, okay, who are you? Who enrolled you? Do you know how to chart? Like basically Sherry's pretty straight. And so she's like, so what are you doing? Where'd you come from? Where are you putting all these people? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she was like, you're halfway built for this diamond bonus for $20,000. And so I'm like, I don't know. So she calls me, she picked up the phone and called me and she walked me through everything. And we just got started. And at that party, the 8 of us, we scheduled the next wrap party. At the next wrap party, I scheduled the next wrap party. And in 6 weeks, I went diamond and got this $20,000 bonus. And so that changed my life, you guys. That altered the entire trajectory of everything that has happened since then. And at that point, I always cry when I tell this part of my story. So like, if you guys see me getting like welled up, that's why. But at that point, I'd only been in the business for a couple weeks. The bonus paid out. And the day that the bonus paid out, you guys, I was working 3 hours away from home. Still doing my job, obviously, because I just started this business. I'm not going to walk away from, over $100,000 a year because I just hit this $20,000 bonus. So I thought, okay, so I'm 3 hours away. My baby, the youngest, was with my mom. And my mom calls me and she's absolutely hysterical. She's like, the baby's crying. She's screaming. She won't stop. I don't know what to do. I was actually driving to my next location. So I pulled over on the side of the road and I FaceTimed my 6-month-old. And I tried, I was doing the baby talk, talking her down. This was really like one of the first times I had gone like away, and I didn't even stay the night. I was just away for the day. Like I was going back and forth. But I pulled her on the side of the road and I FaceTimed her and got her to calm down. You guys, she had a seizure on the phone. I was 3 hours away. This is my baby. And I don't remember anything except for blacking out and driving home as fast as I humanly possibly could to get there. My husband had actually come to my training with me that week and was fishing somewhere in Monterey, and I left him. Like, I couldn't get a hold of him. He didn't have any cell phone service. I straight up like got in my car and I drove and I cried. And I remember my sister talking to me and she's talking to the ambulance and she's trying to coordinate with the doctors. My mom's having a freaking breakdown because she's a mom. She doesn't know what to do. So anyway, I finally get to the hospital and she's fine, thank God. But she did have, she was diagnosed with a kidney disease and she had to have a treatment every single day for a year. And this is the day my $20,000 bonus got paid out, you guys. So I got my bonus. These used to get paid out in 10 months, not 25. So I got my bonus. And I got my first check that was over $2,000 a month. And because of this business, I walked away from over $120,000 a year to be home with my babies full time. And literally it was a whim. Like, I can't even tell you, it was a whim. Like, never in a million years did I think that I would ever do something like this, but God gave this to me and I ran with it. And I didn't even believe in God back then, you guys. That's a whole nother story. Like was not a believer. I had my faith, you know, I believed in a higher power and all that stuff. But people always say God brought them this business. This business brought me to God. And closer and closer and closer every single year. So in a nutshell, that's my story. That went really long. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try to go fast for the rest, but you guys have to know my story in order to understand like where I'm going to go with like the next part of what I want to talk about. So I went belly to belly in 6 weeks going to go diamond. Never once posted on social media. Earned that bonus. Right after I got my bonus, I very slowly started posting on Facebook because I was still really nervous, you guys. I didn't want anything to, and I just didn't want the judgment, you know, and the fact that I had walked away from this career after 17 years was already something crazy. People thought that I'd like lost my mind because I had postpartum depression at the time. And so I think everybody just thought I was crazy. And so I very slowly worked my way into working on social media. I had 138 friends when I joined this business on social. That's it. It took me a year to promote to double, and my husband and I got the bonuses for diamond and double that following year. Right after I went double diamond, you guys, my entire downline was recruited to another company. And it was really hard. I could have let it break me, but I didn't. I did go through imposter syndrome, which is what we talked about on the first day. But, you know, I could have quit and I could have really like walked away from all of this and gone back to work because I easily could have got my job back, but I was like, I'm not doing it. So what I ended up doing, you guys, was I reinvented myself on Instagram. I built all on Instagram after that. I didn't post on Facebook very often. I did still post, but my focus was building an Instagram. I had no Instagram when I started. Within a year, I built it to over 11,000 followers. And so then I rebuilt a brand new team all on Instagram. And then guess what happened? Another wave of recruitment happened. And I lost another 200 people in my downline. This time it was actually a recruitment from within my own organization. And so that really stung. But when we talk about mindset and we talk about limiting beliefs and all that, those things, like I had to go through this part of my business in order to be where I am today. And I am in the right place in the right time with the absolute best team. And so sometimes things that you go through, they're devastating, but that is not your final story. So I ended up going from being built for Ruby that year being built for presidential that year to dropping to Ruby. And so I don't say this to scare you guys, but this is just how I have developed into the front end leader that I am today. And I think that's important. And so I worked my butt off, you guys, all of 2018. In 2019, I went from 2018 to 2019, I went from diamond to triple. Triple diamond, you guys, was my holy grail. I was like, if I could get to triple diamond, like boom shakalaka, like life is good. And I want to tell you guys, and I have to like say, like, insert income disclosure statement, you guys. I was at my breaking point at that when I went back down to Ruby. I built myself to diamond. My check December of 2018 was $1,900. I lost my bonuses. I lost all my bonuses. I wasn't even covering, like, I couldn't even pay for like half of our bills. But I didn't give up, you guys. I had the vision. Thank the Lord, because in March of 2019, 3 months later, my check was $24,000. $24,000. I went from Ruby to diamond to triple in less than 6 months. And that changed my life. And so triple was the rank that I always dreamed of, you guys. And we hit it so effortlessly in 2019. Like, it was the easiest promotion I've ever hit in my entire life. Everything fell into place. There was no month end rush. There was no people buying stuff. Like, everybody on my team got these crazy bonuses. Like, it was a great time, you guys. And so I want to know from like you guys, like, I want to know like what monthly income would change your life. Like, what is it? I want you guys to put it out there, and I want you guys to say the most that you can think of. You know, $24,000 in my head in 1 month was something I never dreamed possible. Not even on my dream boards. I would put 10,000 a month, right? And we think like some people in our organization make $100,000 a month. Black diamonds make $100,000 a month. Like, that's crazy. Yes. Okay. 10,000, 24,000, 4,000, 10,000, 2,500. 6,000. Yeah. 20,000 a month. Yep. Yeah, guys, you can do it. I am the one to tell you right now that you can make that happen. It doesn't matter what rank you are right now. It doesn't matter what rank you were and maybe you lost rank. It doesn't matter if you hit bonuses and lost bonuses. It doesn't matter. We are starting fresh. 2021 is a fresh start. It's a reset. We have these crazy bonuses. And so I want you guys to really think as hard as you can and work as hard as you can over the next couple of months, because you can do whatever you put your mind to. And so now you guys, our team is running for presidential, and we're using all platforms. We're using Facebook and Instagram, and we're adding in 3 TikToks a day, because TikToks is where it is right now. So we have pivoted exactly what we're doing, and we are running with TikTok. So, you know, copy the right cats, you guys. Like, find people to follow. We gave you guys a whole list of people to follow last night. Or was it the night before? Might have been the first night. But anyway, follow all those people, you guys. Follow Tavia, follow me, follow Heather, follow Candace, follow Emily, follow Shar, follow Brittany. Like, I probably missed somebody because we have such an amazing lineup, but follow copy the right cats, you guys. Okay, so now I just want to kind of say, if what you're doing right now is not working, move your feet, pivot, do something different, change the way you're interacting with your team, change the messages that you're sending out, change your follow-up for LC retention, do whatever you have to do. If you have been in this business for, I don't know how long everybody's been in the business, but if you've been in this business for more than 3 months, you should have at least 1,500 friends on Facebook. If you have been in this business for a year, you should have anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000. If you've been in this business for 2 years or more, you should be like constantly unfriending people on Facebook to get new friends, because that is what we know works. Open an Instagram, start a TikTok. The biggest thing, you guys, is don't quit. The only people that ever fail in this business are the ones that quit. So I posted this on my team page the other day, you guys, and it kind of cracked me up. And so I just thought I'd share it with you, because I'm super red. If you can't tell, I have a little bit of yellow in me and a little bit of blue. All my green went out the window when I figured out how to make money and how to teach my team to make money. And when I started helping other people and changing people's lives, like, all my green was like, bye, like, see ya, like, let's make this happen for everybody. So anyway, I posted this on my team page. Does anybody remember that person who gave up? Nope. No one else does either. So you never want to be that person who says, I wish I would have. Be the person that said, I'm so glad I did. So I want you guys to drop a 1 in the chat if your upline has quit. Maybe even multiple uplines. Yep. My upline quit within my first week. I didn't even have a conversation with her besides working with her. And that was short-lived. All right. How many of you have had somebody in your downline that have quit? Drop to 2. That would be like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Like, it's raining 2s, okay? All right. Drop a 3 if you've had your customers turn their auto shipments off. Yep. All right. So now that that's out of the way, I'm going to tell you guys how to get over it and show you how to move on and be successful anyway. People quit. Who cares? People, your downlines quit. That's okay. Pray for them. Wish them the best. Customers turn off their auto shipments. That's okay. We find new customers. We're going to teach you guys how to be successful. So we've already talked about action. We've talked about limiting beliefs. We've talked about mindset, and we've talked about systems. So, but we know, and we're honest. I mean, we're going to be real with you. Like, this business is unpredictable and things are hard. It does get tough. What we do is not hard. We work hard at it, and you have to work at yourself a lot to be able to move through some of these, like, what do you call them? Like, hills and valleys. So the first thing, you guys, is never self-talk. Self-talk is the worst thing you can do. So never get down on yourself, ever, ever, ever. If somebody quits, it's not a reflection on you. It's a reflection on them. Okay. Never stop believing in yourself or your dreams. So for some of you guys, self-talking is screwing you over, and it's in ways that you can't even begin to imagine. Hopefully after 3 days of Zooms with us, you guys are kind of seeing like where we're going with like getting rid of these limiting beliefs and talking down to yourself, because your thoughts become your actions. Okay. So negative talk not only puts you in a bad mood, but it can leave you feeling helpless. It can make small problems seem really big, and it can create problems where none existed before. The more you tell yourself how hard something is, the harder it will actually seem. So people will quit. They'll stop ordering. They'll ghost you after they join. How many people have been ghosted? Like I've signed people and I'm like, yes, this person's gonna be a rock star. And then they're like, block, block, block. And I'm like, well, that was fun. Like, I don't know what happened, but okay. It's okay. It's how we react to that matters the most. All right. So I kind of already touched on this already, but how many of you guys, and be honest, you don't have to say this in the chat, but I want you to think about this. How many of you on here, there's 110 on here right now. How many of you guys set a goal at the beginning of the month, show up for 2 days and then disappear? Because I know a lot of people do that. A lot of people on my team do that. And a lot of people get messages from me when they do that. We do that, right? So who has been in this business for more than 2 years that hasn't maxed out your friends list? Do you have an Instagram and a TikTok set up? Who's let life get in the way? Everybody has let life get in the way. I want you guys to drop a 4 if you have let life get in your way and your business has suffered. Shar touched on this yesterday, but this business is a blessing, you guys. And I've already been like super vulnerable with you guys about what happened with my daughter. And I'm going to give you guys another tidbit of my life, my story, and something that even my team just found out about. And, you know, it's how you can go through things and not let life get in the way. So, okay, I see lots of 4s. It's okay, you guys, because now you're going to know how to navigate through this part. You're going to put systems in place. And now you can come back, and you're coming back at the right time. But I want to tell you guys kind of a little story. So obviously I told you guys already that I had really severe postpartum depression. And that postpartum depression over the years changed into anxiety, or kind of turned into anxiety, major depression, OCD, like all the things. And if you've ever taken anti-anxiety medication, if they stop working, your doctors increase the dosages. And I'm not against antidepressants or anything like that at all. But for me, I had gotten to a point where I was like a super hollow shell of myself. My marriage was suffering. My kids were suffering. My business was suffering. I had no emotion. I literally was like going day by day. But I had no thoughts. I had no feelings. I was just a robot. And so one day I just woke up and I just prayed to God and said, please take this away from me. I don't want this anymore. It's debilitating to me. It's taking away from my joy in life. And I decided to partner with my doctor, and I prayed a lot. And my husband, thank God, helped me get through this. But you guys, I got off an antidepressant starting in July. That is equivalent to getting off of heroin. They have full treatment centers for it. People, I mean, the side effects are unreal. It's like brain zaps, migraines, crying. Like there were days that I didn't get out of bed for almost 4 months, you guys. And I didn't tell a single person on my team, not one. You know what I did? I posted every single day. Did I follow up with everybody? No, because I could barely make it day by day, but I was still doing the things. Okay. On the days that I was feeling good, I would put things into our team page and schedule them out. On the days that I was feeling good, I would make sure that my posts were set up for the week. I relied on my team, you guys. We talked about delegating yesterday, and that's something that I've never done before. I delegated to people on my team. I didn't even tell them what I was going through. And it took me 4 months to get this prescription out of my system. But nobody on my team would have known that, you guys. Life happens, shit happens, people get sick. This business, to me, I have been in a place where I have had it at a high, and I've had it at a low, and I've worked my way back up to a high, and I don't want to lose that again. And so even on your worst days, you guys, you have to show up for this business if you want to be successful. If there is a moment that you feel like you're at your breaking point, message your upline. Talk to them. Like, we're here to be your friends too, you guys. Like, we're not just here to be your mentors and your coaches. Like, we develop real true friendships with you. And so I just want to say, you know, life is going to happen. It's just, it's the same as your mindset. Like, it's just how you decide to deal with it. I just got baptized at the beginning of this month after being 4.5 months completely antidepressant free, anti-anxiety medication free. I've never felt better than I have in my entire life. And I am ready for the team that I've prayed for and that I've worked for. I didn't get it before, you guys, because I wasn't at a point where I could receive it. Now I'm at a point where I could receive it. The time that I was down, I spent 4 months putting together a brand new onboarding for our team. I spent months putting together shareable boards. I spent months working on our team page behind the scenes from my bed. Where can you work from your bed? Where could you take 4 months off of work and still get paid 5 figures a month? You know what I mean? Like, the gratitude that I have for this company and this business and for my team will never take away from like how I'm feeling no matter what. And so I just kind of wanted to like share that with you guys because everybody is going through something right now. This year has been horrific for so many people. So I just want you guys to know, people spend their entire lives. So this is kind of like my third and final point, and I'm really sorry because I took up almost a whole hour. Tagra's probably like, stop talking. My last point is people spend their entire lives waiting for luck or for somebody to save them. But what you guys need to realize is that the only person who is going to save you is you. There is no luck. So stop blaming luck, stop blaming other people. Stop pointing to outside influences. I like to use this boat analogy. So imagine you have this like huge boat full of people, and you have this beautiful dream destination ahead of you, all your hopes, desires, wishes, and no one in the boat is rowing. But this destination is right there. You can see it. Are you going to row the boat? Or are you just going to sit there and hope somebody else rows it? I'm going to row the dang boat, and that's the same with our business. You can take yourself to diamond. You can take yourself to double diamond. Is it harder? Yeah. Can you do it? Yeah. Do you want to? Probably not. You probably want to find people that want to do it with you. Find people to row your boat with you. But if you don't have people in your boat, row it, like figure out a way to get that boat to your destination. If you're not willing to take that kind of action, you're not willing to change your situation. So whether you like it or not, that ends up being what you choose to do. So I want to bring it back to the business. If cold messaging isn't working for you, then do something else. This is the pivot, okay? If cold messaging doesn't work for you, do something else. If you aren't getting LCs and DTs from Facebook, start an Instagram and learn that. If you haven't gotten on TikTok right now, you guys, jump on that train before it leaves the station. TikTok is where it's at right now. I just had a leg head and a best friend leave this business 3 weeks ago, you guys, 3 weeks. And I could have really let that get me down. I could have said so many bad things to myself. I could tell myself I'm a bad leader. I could be like, what happened? Like, I don't understand. Like, we've done this together for so long. Like, what happened? But instead, you guys, I got my butt on TikTok and I started posting 3 TikToks a day, and I signed 12 DTs in 12 days to prove to myself that I am not bad at what I do. And I bless her and I pray for her, and we're still great friends today. And I could tell you the two people that recruited my teams before, I did not feel that way. I was not a nice person to those people. So you have to evolve, okay? There's a quote. We just did this book. I never know how to say it because it has a bad word in it, but not like I haven't said one today, but it's unfuck yourself, okay? We just did this as an audiobook. It's so good. And so basically he says, willingness is what's missing in your life, not some wispy, sheepish willingness, but rather a bold willingness, the kind of willing state where you are ready for what's next and ready to act on it. Willingness to change, willingness to let go, willingness to accept, real, magical, inspired willingness. And I was going to share a video from Jade about 10 minutes, but I'm going to put the link in the chat instead, and you guys can watch it. It's literally 40 minutes in to the end. She talks about magical willingness. It's absolutely phenomenal. But I'm going to wrap up with this and hand it back to Tavia. So you either control your destiny or your destiny controls you. Life won't stop for pauses. It won't stop for procrastinations. It won't stop for more life. It's not going to stop for COVID. It's not going to stop for everything, It won't stop for your fear. It's not going to stop for your confusion. It will go right along with you. So whether you play an active part or not, the show must go on. So don't wait for the light at the end of the tunnel. Light that thing up yourself. Do the work, do the KPIs, the hacks, work on your mindset, and do the follow-ups. You can and you will. I want you guys to dream as big as you've ever dreamt this year, because 2021 is where it's at. You have the tools, you have the incentives, and you have the leaders to help you along the way. Now it's up to you to do the work. So that's all I had. I love you guys. I can't wait to go through the chat, and I'm going to hand it back over to Tavia.
Oh, so good. You guys, I got that on. The devil will not stop me. Okay. So look, that was really good. And I totally teared up. I've heard her story before, but guys, isn't it so interesting how sometimes you be in your own head and then you hear someone else's story and you're like, oh, Okay, girl, you win, right? It is so interesting how we can be in our heads and think this is the worst it could ever be. And then we hear something else, or those commercials that play on TV where it shows the children over in Africa. Tell me that doesn't get me every single time. Even the dogs, they have the dogs, you know what I mean, that are malnourished and stuff. I tell you, you know what I'm saying? Every single time, what it does is it makes you self-reflect, right? It makes you self-reflect to be like, okay, all right, maybe it's not as bad as it could be. And I'll tell you, even though going through the storm, here's the thing. This is not even on my notes, but when you're going through, how many of you have been through like a storm in your life? You know, she talks about her story. How many of you literally, when I say storm, I'm not just talking about, okay, the kids didn't go to sleep tonight, my husband's acting nuts. Now, I'm not talking about that storm. What I'm talking about is the storm where you literally are like, I don't know if I can go another day. This is too much. I'm not prepared for this. I don't have the resources. I feel so ill-equipped, right? That storm. I'm talking about the storm that is just like, you can't avoid it. The person that you go into the storm is not the same that comes out. That's the whole point of the storm. It is to transform you. It's to change you. Nobody ever said the walk through the storm was going to be easy, right? It's not. It's not supposed to be, all right? So I love when she was talking about she could have gotten down about people coming and going. Here's a phrase. You bless them in and you bless them out. Nobody owes you anything. They didn't join your team. Oh, I'm going to join Ashley's team because I know Ashley wants to go diamond and I want to be that last person that helps her go diamond. No, nobody does that. They don't owe you anything, right? You're not responsible for someone else's success, nor are you responsible for their failures. And I think as leaders, it is so easy for us to say, well, I don't know, she left, like maybe I wasn't giving her something, maybe I wasn't doing this or saying this right. And we tend to self-reflect and beat ourselves up. Guys, you're not responsible for their success, nor are you responsible for their failures, right? You're responsible to do the best you can do with the resources that you have in the moment that you have it, right? It's no different than when you think about parenting, right? Like I'm not the best, right? But I'm doing the best I can with what I have. Right? And that's all you can do. So I want to start by saying that, and hopefully you guys can understand with some of the stories that you're hearing, really it's to show yourself some grace, because we beat ourselves up enough. The last thing we need to do is to be against ourselves when we're walking through the storm. Because at the end of the day, when you're walking through a storm, don't you feel alone? You feel like nobody can understand you. Nobody really feels what you're going through, right? You feel alone. So it's all about grace, and it's about showing yourself some grace, okay? All right, so let me get into this. So here's another phrase. If you're not changing it, you're choosing it. I actually said this tonight to one of my girls on the phone, and it just kind of like, you know, sparked something, but it's the truth. If you're not changing it, you're choosing it. This goes for anything in life. So when I'm talking to you newbies that are on, okay? So when you first are like, all right, I'm going to do this business. Yeah, let's do it. And you hit submit. How many of you like freaked out? Were you like, oh my God, delete. I don't know what I just signed up for. I'm scared. I can't do this, right? I don't even know what they call that. Buyer's remorse? Is that like something? It freaks you out, right? Okay, here's the thing. We get such in a mindset where we remember what feels comfortable for us. And so we're human. What do we do when we're faced with something that's uncomfortable? We want to revert back, and we want to go back to the place that we feel safest at. The problem with this is that where we most often feel safe is not exciting at all. It is our bland life that we were trying so desperately to get away from. It is the life that we don't want to stay stuck in, right? But yet we're so quick to revert back to that when we feel uncomfortable, right? Because we don't want to grow. We don't want to change. We don't want to send screenshots, right? I don't know, right? We don't want to do that. And so what we tend to do is we go to what we know best. And what we know best is doing something that we've done over and over and over. We quit. We stop talking. We stop communicating. We stop staying close to the fire, right? So if you're new and you're on here, here's a couple things I'm going to tell you. One, stay close to the fire. What does this mean? Allow yourself to be coached by your upline, okay? I cannot tell you, listen, at the end of the day, I had no Facebook. I didn't even tell you guys my story, but that was another day. But I had an upline, wasn't the best upline, but guess what? She did the best she could with the resources she had when she was in the business. I blessed her in just as quick as I blessed her out. It was an amazing thing for my business, hindsight, right? But at the end of the day, you have to allow yourself to be coached by your upline or someone that has more knowledge than you. Okay. I don't care if that's more knowledge, like your upline's been in the business for 3 months before. More than likely, she may have more info than you. Okay. If she's 3 months ahead of you, it is what it is. You have to learn and embrace what your upline is telling you. All right. Show up and ask questions. Here's the thing. Some of you may think, I have so many questions. It's so annoying. I know it's so frustrating. No, it's not. At the end of the day, that is how you learn. It is buildable knowledge. And when you get to a level where you ask that question, how many of you have been in a season where you've heard something once and then you're, I don't know, desensitized or something happens and you hear the same statement, but it hits a little bit different, right? And you're like, whoa, wait, what did you just say? Right? It hits different. It is no different than when you're asking questions over and over and over, right? It's the same thing. Ask questions. It's how you learn. Okay. Get around like-minded people. You are the sum of the 5 most common people that you choose to surround yourself with. Have you ever heard this statement? You, okay, are the average, okay, of the 5 most common people you choose to surround yourself with. So guess what, boo-boo? If you're surrounding yourself with 7-year-olds, you're gonna have a little difficulty, right? If you're surrounding yourself with toxic people that just want to bring you down, they don't want to see you succeed. They want to laugh and make jokes, haha, about what you're doing, right? They don't want to support you, right? And when I say they don't want to support you, doesn't mean they have to buy a product, but you know the things I'm talking about, where they don't want to like a post, they don't want to comment, they don't want to put up a host to post, everything that's free. I forgot, compliments are free. Did you not know, right? Some of those people. I'm talking about those people that bring you down, okay? You've got to figure out how to surround yourself with people that make you better. Okay, if you can't change the people that are around you, change the people that are around you. It is as simple as that. And if you don't, what did I say? If you're not changing it, you're choosing it. And that is on you. There's not much I can do, right, as your upline leader to help you combat that. Because here's the problem with that. When you hear something over and over and over, what happens? You guys start to believe it. Something they say will get infused into your mind and you will start believing the lies that they are telling you. Then what do? You nitpick. You start looking for a reason to validate what they're saying. Because in your mind, you're thinking, well, they're my friend. They love and support me. They have my best interest. So maybe they're right. Oh, yeah, look, girl. Oh, did that order go through again? See, I told you. See, that's what it is, right? Yep, you couldn't control that order. That's what I'm talking about, right? This is a scam, okay? You go looking for an excuse, all right? We all grow at different rates, so never compare yourself to someone else's situation, okay? Because this only brings disappointment. Guys, here's the thing. Comparison is the thief of joy. It is what it is. And it's the truth. Every single one of you at every single level have compared yourself to some capacity, right? What does it do? Does it make you feel good, warm and fuzzy? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Doesn't matter who it is. Whether you compare yourself to me or to anybody else on this Zoom, right? You can compare the small, oh my God, look at her sweater and look at mine. Oh my gosh. Oh, let me turn my camera off, right? What? Comparison is the thief of joy. And what happens is when you get into a cycle of comparison, you're less likely to enjoy every single part of your journey. And what you're doing is you're waiting. I'm going to wait till I go diamond to feel happy. I'm going to wait till I lose 22 pounds to feel happy. I don't feel happy losing 10 pounds. I have to wait till I lose 22 pounds. We are so ingrained to have instant gratification that it's literally sickening. It is, because I'm at fault for this too, right? To live in a world of delayed gratification is like, what is that? No, I do something, I want payment. I take a product, I want to lose 50 pounds, right? This is what we are ingrained to think is normal, and it's not normal. But it messes with our psyche, so don't compare yourself, okay? Again, this is for your newbies. Now, some people don't want to see, listen to this. Some people don't want to see you prosper, and that is exactly why they don't offer their support. Now, this could be in a bunch of different ways. Hear me out. So it could mean that they're not taking your opportunity serious. They're not doing a host to post. They're not even sharing your content. When they're around you, they're not even talking about it. They don't ask you how it's going. You ever have people like that refuse to ask you how your business is going? Even though I know you watch my stories, I don't even have to tell you, but they refuse to ask. They don't want to know about it because why? Here's the problem. When you have growth happening, have any of you ever, and drop a 1 if you've experienced this, when you first started this business, okay? You've got your friends, people that you used to interact with, and all of a sudden they get really weird around you, right? And they're like almost judgmental in a weird way, but it's because you're elevating your growth process above theirs. And that triggers them. Oh, she thinks she's better than me. Oh, okay, I see you own a business now, and now you're too good for ABCD, right? Nor did you ever say any of that. It's their thought. It's their assumption about you. And so what do? They're going to do quite the opposite of what you think they're going to do. And these are the people that you thought would support you, but end up not supporting you. And it's a really big disappointment because you would have supported them. But sometimes you have people that cannot handle someone growing above them because it reminds them of how not far they've gone in their own life, right? And you remind them of that. So if they can do everything to make you feel bad about what you're doing, and then you ultimately quit, then now you're back on their level. So now they're going to be cool with you again. Oh, hey, giggle, giggle, laugh, laugh. Let's go get drinks, right? I don't know. Okay. Some people do that. So that's what I mean about, again, surrounding yourself with people that are going to uplift you. Here's the thing. I told my family this when I joined this business. You don't have to approve or appreciate what it is that I do, but you will respect it, period. I don't care who you are, what you do. You're my mom, my siblings, my family, my friends. I'm not saying you have to purchase a product, but you will respect what I am doing. Because at the end of the day, right, we know opinions don't pay our bills. Last I checked, guys, why are we so consumed with what they think of what we're doing? Our goal is to make ourselves happy, not them. We're not responsible for like other people's happiness. You're responsible for your own. All right. So some people we just outgrow. Some relationships end without a real explanation as to why. People come and go. They'll come and go in business as customers, in your network potentials. You ever have potentials that just drop off the face of the earth and you're like, seriously, what happened? You blocked me? Like, what is this, right? Here's the thing, respect the shift. And this was something really deep for me when I read this. And it was like all of those things that you think are negative, right? That are only going to take you down. All this is respect the shift, because here's why. Honor the growth and understand that not all roots can stay planted in the same soil. Meaning, not everyone that I come into contact with is meant to be a part of where I'm at in the season that I'm at, right? Not everyone is meant. Just how many of you have heard your leader say, who I went ruby with isn't who I went emerald with? It's not who I went diamond with, or double or triple. It always changes. Why do you think we say that? Because not everyone has the same roots and mentality to stay rooted in the same soil that I'm building. And that's okay. Bless them in and you bless them out, right? Faith over fear. You've heard this term. Here's the thing about this. Faith and fear can't exist together. They can't coexist. You ever heard that statement? Here's what I want you guys to think of when fear creeps in, especially for you newbies, my last point. When you are faced with a bunch of no's, you're faced with the thought of, I don't know if I can do this, right? Fear starts to creep in. I firmly believe that fear is essential for faith to kick in. You have to have some sort of motivating factor in order to choose fear above faith. So I do believe that in some aspects, they can coexist together and they are needed. Because if I don't have fear, if I don't have some negative feeling towards something that's happening to me or being said to me, then I can never activate the faith that I have, right? So I do believe that they do need to work together. I don't believe that there is a business that is successful that hasn't involved fear. I think all of us experience it on some level, right? But what happens is when you first start out, you may not know what self-development is. I had no clue. I didn't even know what self-development was until I was double diamond. And I was like, what is that? You keep telling me, all right, fine. Okay. I didn't know what it was. But I realized that the reason I was stagnant wasn't because my team wasn't showing up. It was because the disposition comes before the position. I didn't have the disposition of my next level because I didn't understand what it encompassed. I had to become someone more than who I was in that moment. I had to be that next level leader that my team needed, right? So my disposition had to come before I could achieve whatever it is I was going for, right? Does this make sense? And so here's the problem whenever you're first starting out. And I want you guys to know that you may face this. And if you do, I want you to get with your upline. You may start this business and you're what? How many of you on a scale of 1 to 10? Level 10 is like Sasha. Okay, I named mine. Mine is Sasha Fierce. My level 1 is Giselda. I don't like to be level 1. I want to be close to level 10 all day, every day. Okay. Now, when you first start this business, I would honestly say I was not a runner. I would have said I'm maybe like a level 3. Like I'm a level 3. I didn't even have Facebook, you guys. I had no social media when I started this business. All right, so I was a level 3. What happens to a level 3 when you face a level 10 problem? Look, I'm looking up at like level 10 is big. Like I don't know if I can come back from this big, right? So what happens? I shut down. I have no resource and understanding of how to tackle a level 10 problem because I'm only at a level 3. I've only tapped in to the surface of who I am. Doesn't mean I don't have Sasha Fierce inside. I do, but she only, at the beginning, she only came out when she needed to come out, right? So what happens with self-development is I learned how to condition myself to operate at a level 10 or close to it, right? Level 10 means I'm hype on life, right? People ask me all the time, are you just always this excited? Yes, I am. Okay, I am. However, what is the problem with being excited all the time? Here is the thing. I didn't like being unhappy. And my thoughts followed my action, right? Like, so if I were thinking that I was like in a bad mood, I didn't want to go to work, and I didn't want to work this 16 hours, or I had to talk to another freaking like client about this, I would lose it, right? Well, what happens? Negative thoughts breed negative behavior. And I was in this cyclical cycle of feeling and being and looking. I was unhappy. And it shaped all the parts of my life. So I chose to take a different route and I chose to be positive. But seriously, guys, think about this. When you have a newbie, if you are in this season and you're like, I may feel like I'm a level 3, 4, right? And you're faced with a bigger problem than where you're at, that is why we say self-development is so important. The only way to bridge the gap, this is called an identity gap. Ready? When you're here, your problem is here. Where you're trying to go is on the other side of this problem, right? What is this gap? It's called an identity gap. And the only way to bridge the gap is to develop yourself. It doesn't come from signing more customers and distributors. It doesn't come from getting on Zooms, right? It comes from your own hard work of doing the hard stuff. It's the hard work, guys. Nobody wants to do it because it's uncomfortable, right? I have a mastermind group and these girls, like they're amazing and it's hard. And a lot of them are on here, but it's hard work. It is hard to do the work that we don't have to do. When you join this business, you never knew that a problem that happened 7 years ago or maybe shaped your life in a bad way was going to come to the surface when you dealt with A, B, and C, right? But guess what? Sometimes because we're in the business of multi-level marketing and we have to show a different perspective of our life, we're then forced to identify and bring to the surface things that we don't want to. But that is the whole point of growth, you guys, all right? So I hope that makes sense. I want to talk really fast about the distributors that have been on board and you're onboarding new distributors, because I think there's 2 perspectives to this, okay? All right, so you're onboarding a new distributor. Here's the thing I want you guys to remember. They're new. Don't you remember when you were new? I think sometimes we forget how new someone is when they first start this business. They don't know what they don't know, right? Nor do you know what they need on the flip side. I think it goes both ways. But no one is ever going to want this business as much as you. And I think that was a really hard lesson for me. I thought when I joined, I'm like, but why doesn't she just explode to diamond? She's so good. Oh my gosh, like, why isn't she doing A, B, and C? No one is going to want this business as much as you. They're not the same as you, right? I want my business more personally because it's my business. I'm never going to want my business more than me, right? Ashley's never going to want it more than me, right? It's my business. Okay. Does this make sense? So when you're talking to a new distributor and you're training them, show them some grace in that aspect. They come from a mentality to do a 9 to 5 more than likely, right? So their thought process is I work and I get paid. I work and I get paid. I work and I get paid. Flip the script on whenever you tell them, oh, no, wait, no, you're going to work 5 weeks before you get a paycheck. And let's see how that goes, right? So that is why you have sometimes this explosion of emotion where people are so quick to quit. They don't have the mental capacity to face a level 10 problem and overcome it. They don't know what self-development is. So when you're onboarding someone new, you have got to literally act as if they are a toddler and walk them across the parking lot. Really, and I mean this with all respect, but it's the truth. They don't know what they don't know. Your responsibility as their enroller is to not tell them they're not going to face level 10 problems, because they will. Honestly and truly, every single obstacle they face will be bigger than what they are when they first start, because they haven't developed who they are, right? They're level 1, 2, 3, maybe, right? And some people aren't even there. So their mental capacity isn't where yours is today. You had the time for growth. You have the time to develop yourself. You understand what it is, or else you guys wouldn't be on here, right? So I really wanted to kind of say that too, because I feel like we need to kind of show those newbies some grace as well, because I don't want us to get in a mode where it becomes like we're pushing them, right? You don't want to bulldoze over your new distributors either, because that's not helpful. You don't just want to sign all 6 customers. Oh, great job, you signed all 6, woo, right? And they're like, what? I don't even know, right? And then you get mad because they're not grateful for the 6 customers you gave them. Well, how are they supposed to be grateful? What do they do? Right? I mean, I'd be like, thanks. Okay, I got a shopping spree. Okay, how do I do it? Right? And then you get frustrated. Does anyone ever do this? You get frustrated and you're like, seriously, girl, I need you to get with it. Like, I just gave you 6 customers. I'm gonna need you to come a little bit more excited than what I feel you're coming, right? I do that all the time. So anyway, but I hope that makes sense, you guys. I hope that that you guys understand too, that you got to get out of your own way. This is the second point. Get out of your own way. Don't feel bad making decisions that upset other people. You're not responsible for their happiness. You're responsible for your own. And I say this all the time to myself, and I know it's a really difficult concept to understand. And it's hard to really believe it, I think, at the end of the day too, right? Like, you're not responsible for theirs. And I think we're so quick to judge ourselves. But you guys also to remember, cold versus warm market. So really fast, whenever you first join this business, know this. How many of you hit up your warm market and you were like, okay, I'm going to ask 3 people, because 3 people is who you know, I guess, right? And then all 3 of them say no, and you're like, oh, I guess it didn't work. Have you guys ever had distributors say that? And you're thinking, girl, what? 3 people? What? But again, their capacity to understand the idea of growth and networking isn't there, right? On the flip side of this, their capacity to want to grow beyond this with no tangible reflection of like, oh, okay, I earned money. Here's the thing. How many of you are more likely to stick with a diet if you can see the scale move? Right? Yeah. But the problem, and I shouldn't say the problem because it's not a problem, but what we have to remember is that we're chasing something that's invisible in the beginning. Think about it. It's literally invisible. The thought of going to a Disney trip, the thought of 5-figure savings, the thought of paying for groceries and not having to look at what you're spending, the thought of, whatever it is, it's invisible right now because they can't physically see it. So for them to vision or idea, like have this idea of this vision of what could be is very difficult. And that's why we tend to not have people go beyond 90 days. And that's why it is so important when people first join this business, you got to get on FaceTime. You got to get in their face. You got to get in their inbox. You have to message them, do whatever it takes. Now, after all that, guys, if you still aren't getting any response, then you do have to love them and leave them. And I think that's a subjective thing where you got to figure out what is that for your distributors based on each one of them. But I also think too that it's going to take more giving of you than it is them giving to you in the beginning, because that's just how this works. Okay. Last but not least, growth is painful. Change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying planted and stuck, firmly rooted where you don't belong. And that is the truth, you guys. I think that a lot of us, again, we get complacent. We get comfortable. We don't want to stretch and grow because it's uncomfortable. We want to stay stuck. The problem is being stuck. You're going to be in the same position year after year, right? And then you're only going to get mad at yourself when you see so-and-so joined and you could have been there where she is and you're not. You're still stuck, right? And then you become resentful, right? And then it's just a rabbit hole from there, right? So remember this, guys. Change is always going to be difficult. No one ever said it was supposed to be easy. This business has been rewarding on so many levels. You've heard our stories. But I just want to end it with that, you guys, is that, hard work does not require talent. And I think we need to get it out of our heads. I don't know about you, but I honestly take offense when people tell me that I'm just good at what I do. And I think it's because I'm not just good at what I do. I work my ass off to be where I am, right? And not everyone is willing to do what I did, right? But I don't think that I'm lucky. I'm not lucky. I worked for this. I don't necessarily believe that there is luck in this business. I think it's easy to look, right? You ever see those top leaders and they're, oh, I enrolled 1,000 distributors, and you're like, say what? Like how? Okay, like we're all going to be TikTok famous at some point. Listen, I'm still crafting that. It's another topic, but seriously though. Right? And you're thinking in your head, oh my gosh, she's just pretty. What happens? Self-limiting beliefs start to come out, right? Because you're like, well, she's got to be doing something that I'm not. When really, guys, she's not. She's not doing anything different than what you already know to do. They don't have some secret book that we don't have. They're not hearing different tips than what you guys are hearing, right? You've got to put in the work, and you have to trust the process. And that is a difficult thing to do, because every single one of our journeys is going to look different. They are. And that's the hard part, especially whenever you're like looking sideline and you're like, okay, girl, where are you at? Oh, I think I'm going to go diamond. And you're like, oh, I'm ruby, right? It's difficult to not compare yourself. But I encourage you to start doing the hard work of enjoying every single day of the journey, right? Because it's not about where you end up per se. It's about who you become in the process. And I think that's the most magical thing that I think I've seen in my own personal growth over 5 years. I'm not the same person that joined 5 years ago. You can't tell me anything now, right? But in the beginning, you could have literally tore up my little soul. Like I was like, oh my gosh, what? Right? Now I'm like, okay, next, I would say that is a good and bad thing in some cases. But seriously, I'm not the same person. And I think you guys would agree too, with every day, with every week, with every month, as long as you're doing what you need to do, you change, you grow, right? It's the whole point, So that's all I had. But I don't know, do we want to play the video now, or should we go to like closing remarks? Never mind. Scratch that. You posted it.
Yeah, I think we could just close out. So the Jade video that I posted, guys, just started at 40 minutes in. Watch it to the end. It'll blow your mind. Like so good. But yeah, I think we can go ahead and close it out. This was amazing.
It was so good. I hope you guys got something out of it. So really fast, I can't even see everyone, but if the other leaders are on here, if you guys want to say just one or two things to close out, and then we'll say a prayer, and then we have a chant that we're going to do at the end. So whoever wants to go.
Hey guys. What's up? Oh my gosh. How have you guys freaking loved this like last 3 days? Has it been so good? You guys, I'm one of the leaders that's doing this, and I am the biggest student. Like I could not wait to be on every night. I made sure that my whole entire family knew, hey, mom has to go to work. Mom is showing up to work at 6 o'clock. I'm in California, so it's 6 o'clock. Well, that's when it started. They knew. They all knew, and my kids are like, shh, mom, quiet, mom's gonna unmute, or they go in their room. You guys, I showed up to work, and I'm so proud of every single one of you that showed up to your job these last 3 days, because let's keep it real. It's the holidays. It's right after Christmas. It's right before New Year's. We have every reason to not be here, but all the reasons to be, right? So what I wanted to just close out with is like one word, and that is communication. Going into the new year with everything that's going on, all of you have the chance for greatness, okay? You have the chance for so many things. You all want to go all in, okay? Go all in. Some of you guys are like, I don't even know what that means, but it sounds good, okay? When you hear your upline ask, are you all in? Say yes. But here's what I'm going to tell you, okay? Communication. It's not just with you and your upline. It is with your family, your husband, your kids, your best friends, your mom, your aunt, whoever you are with, like on a daily or consistently, they need to know what's about to happen, what is going on. Because what I see is somebody telling me that they're going all in. Bonuses were just announced, new product, like new year, right? And then all of a sudden people start to fizzle out. And it's because they're on their phones too much. Their spouse or their significant other is mad that they're on their phones. Their kids are like, Mom, you're always on your phone. And then all of a sudden you like feel the guilt and then you slow down in your business. How many of you guys have had that or know someone that has gone through that? And that is because you do not sit them down and say, okay, this is what's about to happen. Okay. Today, after these bonuses were announced in the new product, me and my son were in the car, we were running errands, and I was on my phone before I started the car. And then I was on the phone when we stopped the car. And then I was on my phone and he's sitting there. And I said, honey, I just want to let you know that they announced some big things today. And everything that Mom is doing right now, it's so I can buy you that new house. It's so I can pay for us to go to Houston next week for you to play baseball. And he knows, he gets it. That's why they're telling each other, shh, Mom's about to unmute. Like they know what's going on. So how many of you are on this right now? Maybe you're brand new. Maybe you're a month in. Maybe you are making a comeback. Does your family know what you're doing right now? Do they know that you're on this Zoom? Do they know why you're on this Zoom? Are they a part of this journey with you? Because if they are not, you guys, you are literally like, you're going to hit a roadblock. You are going to hit a roadblock if you are not communicating with people. The next part of that is no matter what's going on, stay in communication with your upline every day. And what I mean by that is check in with her every day or him. That means check into your team pages every day. Interact in the posts in your team pages every day. Okay? No ghosting. That is not allowed. I want everybody to put their hand up and say, I will not ghost my upline. I will not. And when life happens, you guys, let your upline know, because we're going to be able to get you through it. We're going to get you through life happening. Okay? You got to communicate. That's like the word I want you guys to like close it out with. Like tonight, I want you to be like, okay, who do I got to tell what I'm doing? I got to tell everyone. So communication is key. Show up to this every single day like a real job. And guess what, you guys? It will pay you like a real job and then some. Not even just a job. It'll pay you like a career, like your dream job, your career. But you have to show up. That's it.
I love it. Okay, I know Candace and Brittany are not on. Who is Emily on? I can't see all the people. Or Shar. I don't know. Can you see him? Maybe not.
I think they both popped off.
Okay. All right. So Melissa, what do you want to say?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know, you guys. Like, I'm blown away by the last 3 days. I can't wait to watch the replays myself because there were so many good nuggets. I think at the end of the day, I think Heather really hit it on the head too. You guys, letting your friends and family know what's going on. And then one thing with the Jade Hooper video that I really liked and wanted to share was not letting other people's opinions pay your bills. So like if you don't let anybody's opinion alter what you're doing, if you wouldn't change bank accounts with that person, and that includes your spouse. So if your spouse is like saying all these things, and I've been super blessed that mine has always been on board, but not a lot of people have that. So if you have a spouse or significant other, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever you have, a partner, and they're not all in with you, you cannot let that affect you right now. Do not trade bank accounts with, or do not take opinions from anybody that you wouldn't trade bank accounts with, family included. But I love this, you guys. It was absolutely incredible. So thank you, Tavia, for putting this together. You're an absolute blessing to all of us, and we love you so much.
Absolutely, you guys. I hope you guys all got something out of it. I would say really fast about what Melissa was just saying. For those of you that don't have a supportive family, spouse, here's the thing. Keep working until they are. You're never going to convince anyone. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is to keep going, right? And at some point, it will flip for them. And then you will no longer feel like you have to convince anyone, okay? Because it'll speak for itself, right? But keep going until they do believe it, all right? And last, I want to leave you with, you can't force people to believe in you. You have to show them what you can do. And if they still don't see then those are not the kind of people who deserve to benefit from anything that grows off of your tree. And I think you guys really need to safeguard who you are as a person, because you were created for a purpose. And here's the thing I want you guys to remember: if you quit, you're never going to meet that person that you were meant to meet in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, in 2 days, right? To change their life. So your life, yes, we know it's an isolated moment of you in your feeling, and you feel like you're not going to be able to do this, but understand the bigger picture. Like, we have large downlines. Yes. Here's the thing. It all started with one. It started with us believing in something that was bigger than us. And I prayed for every single one of my men and women that are a part of my team today, right? I prayed for all of them. I didn't know their names at the time, but guess what? I prayed them in, right? And so you've got to remember to trust the process and know that it is a journey, and it's not always going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And know that we're here for you guys. I'm sure pretty much all of you are part of one of our downlines. And so we appreciate you guys showing up. We want you guys to literally hit 2021 like your pants are on freaking fire. Hence the red, okay? But guys, seriously though, don't stop, don't let up. And remember to take care of this, because this is where it starts, you guys. And if nothing else, don't allow self-development to go to the wayside every single day when you're busy. That needs to be the one main thing that you continue to do every single day, okay? All right, guys. So last but not least, you guys, we're gonna say a chant really fast. And for those that want to boomerang, get your phones out. Y'all know the phrase whole nother level. All right, I'm gonna count to 3 and we're gonna say whole nother level. And I want you guys to unmute yourself, even if it's crazy loud where you are. I don't care. All right, if babies are sleeping, you can lip it, whatever you gotta do. But we're gonna get super loud about this, you guys, because it's a big deal.
I consider myself an artist.
All right, guys, we're gonna take it to a
Whole
nother level.
level.
You guys.
Love you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.